Hello everyone, back again. Welcome back to another video review. So you may be thinking to yourself, a stream just out of the blue? Again? Well, this one is a lot different once again. And why? Because, already I see comments from Trailer123, One Trick Mind, Sax Railways, and TJ. Good morning, Sax Railways. And so let's talk about Stories in the Great White North. What is Stories of the Great White North? Basically, you may be thinking to yourself, oh no, we're look, disclaimer, this is not a ripoff of Stories in the States. This is not a plagiarism of Stories in the States whatsoever. What it is, it's basically my spin-off, which is in canon to my current series. Which basically, it's about Canadian National Railways. Like Canadian Railways in general. Like Canadian National and Canadian Pacific, etc. So you're going to see a lot of now. There'll be some realism and some unrealism, and eventually, at some point, I don't know when, and I'll have to talk to DJ and Jay about this, the creators of Stories in the States, that there might be a possible crossover with Stories of the Great White North and Stories in the States, which will ultimately combine with Stories of Sodor, possibly. I know I know it's a little, I know I'm stretching the process a little. Well, I wouldn't say extreme. It's a little, maybe not overzealous, but it would be awesome. Oh, it's 11 a.m. and 5:11 a.m. for you guys. Okay, awesome, terrific. Okay, sorry, I was just looking at a silly meme. Anywho, and I'm sorry about the delay in the. It should have started like well over half an hour ago, but I was doing things. But regardless of that, things happen from time to time and whatnot. So, interesting. So, moving on from all this, Stories of the Great White North, what else will happen? Let's see. We'll talk about my roots and my personal roots with Canadian National and Canadian Pacific. But at the same time, we'll talk about other encounters I have with other Canadian steam engines and, well, diesel engines. Now, Canadian National, Canadian Pacific, basically, they have a lot of interesting looking diesels. Now people say, oh, they look the same. Well, they're not the same. Like Canadian, like the diesel in my country, they may look similar, but they're different in terms of where they're from, etc., and whatnot. I mean, heck, there are certain diesels around the world that have been built from other diesels from accidents or when they or from scrap or whatnot. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, will there be any other diesels, like let's say, for example, Devious Diesel or Diesel 10, or even OC diesels that will premiere in that series. Now, with the Thomas characters, like as I said, Diesel and Diesel 10, potentially other OCs, that's another story. I'm not certain at this point because it's just logistics and all that. Because after after a little, oh, you mean the Canadian Pacific? Canadian Pacific. I think I know who you mean, Sac Railways, but basically, like after a little run-in, would have been in April of last year, where I had an episode that has been pretty much was beaten to death by the logistics and my overall plot of the episode. Which, okay, I know it didn't make sense. I know there was no script. I know I botched Trevor's character, like Trevor the traction engine, but but the truth is of Trevor in my universe, he is multilingual. He is a multi-language traction engine because, spoiler alert, it's because of Toby, which is taking inspiration from stories in the stories of Sodor. I almost said stories in the States, but anyway. And anyway, 2929. Huh. Yeah, I know who you mean. 2929. Shoot. Damn. I know who you mean. Hold on. Where did it go? Yes. Sorry, I'm just. And hello once again. I'm Akalata. Um. Anyway, here or there. Let's see. Ah, yes. And now this stream shall be going into a temporary intermission. Sax Railways, you must be in charge until my return is imminent. Stand by. And here I returned. Um, Thank you for reminding me. I'll send you those audition things. And you're not late. Oh, ow. Yes, I'm doing well. And favorite British locomotive? It's simple. The 9F. It's a quite a fantastic locomotive. Um, I mean, not just the 9F, but the E2s, the Black Fives. Uh, Heck, even I could go as far as Green Arrow and Rocket, and even Mallard. Oh, Mallard, oh, Mallard. Hello, Calvin. There's a special feature for what's the for? Oh, I already answered that. It's basically the 9F. It's quite an amazing locomotive. I mean, it's my OC, my main OC, my secondary. But press Alt and F for. What does that do? Let's see. I don't know. So I tried it. Yeah, I tried that trick there. Basically, all it did was it caused me to crash. Good try. I'm not falling for that one again. Unless there's... Anyway. Damn it, kill him! So basically, the stream is about stories of the Great White North. And there is a Discord server that I created for those that have Discord. And that's going to be a lot of exceptional stuff. Like, truly amazing stuff that's going to happen. Yes, I'm okay. Yes, J.L. Brooks. Yes, Callum. Always wanted to go. Indeed, yes. Trust me, you'll love the railways there. It's funny. Go face with the funny. Yes, Bethel was an unfortunate circumstance, but excuse me, Callum. You want me to look, the reason why I haven't done much chess screening is because of, well, reasons. Betha was an 8F, 8 on the fire scale, 9Fs. True, but here's the thing. Like, a 9F could easily operate on Thomas's branch line. An 8F could easily operate on Edward's branch line. A 7F could easily operate on the main line. And a 6F could easily operate in, well, Bridlington and Goodserd. Not just the greatest freight hauler, but the greatest express engine as well. Because if we take a look at this marvelous ingenuity, like, this is a fine piece of art. Just a beautiful locomotive, just tremendously impressive. Yes, not just the GWR, but the LNER, the VR. Ah, you look closely to an INF. That's fantastic. Well, there is the replica of the LMS, basically the basis of Big City Engine. You know what I'm saying? That there was a replica that was recently completed. like from the ground up. So now there's only one of the Patriot class that remains. So it's not all a lost cause. It's a beautiful cause, and you'll see there will be an episode in Stories of the Great White North, spoilers by the way, where it'll be about strength of engines, like diesels and steam engines. Like, think about it. It will involve Murdoch, it will involve my 9FOC, it will involve 9F's going to be a huge factor in this because, and there's going to be some time travel and some teleportation and all that such, but we're in the script stage of this, and a new P2 is coming to 2022. I see. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Hold on, I will be right back. That's amazing. So it won't be much longer for the P2 to arrive. It's one of the many that I have in the works, actually. Like, in fact,
Hello.
good evening.
Good evening.
So,
Yes.
let me guess. You typed the link, and here you are.
Yep.
Oh, dang it. And
By the way, Zach, he obviously doesn't know power classification because I've actually found a thing where it would show you how to divide the tractive effort to get the, classification. So 9F would be 19,833 higher, it would be. That's once you've divided the tractive effort by 2. Now, Bertha's is, when you divide it, is 21,656. So she would have been classified as 9F, not 8F. Plus, she did have more tractive effort than the 9Fs, because she did have the compounding system, which the 9F didn't. So,
well, that I understand your argument, but if we look at the Bertha locomotive, like, we can see that it's just a lovely little engine. Like,
it's not small, Brandon. It's bloody thumping big.
oh, I know. I could tell the difference because you see, it has the box of a Black 5, the boiler of a of a of a decapod, the wheelbases of a decapod, the tender of a decapod, the face of a decapod, and the dome of a decapod.
Also, Brandon, know how he said the 9F was the greatest freight hauler in the UK? That's actually, I'm going to have to disagree with you there, because if you look during the war, I know the 9Fs weren't designed until 1950 something, but still, the 8F, the Stanya 8F, was the main primary goods loco, and that still survived up to the end of BR, which some of the 9Fs didn't even make.
I mean, I could hear your argument, but we must also understand that 9Fs were built for both passengers, freight.
No, it was just built as a goods loco Brandon.
But if I recall correctly,
there were times where they did take passengers. but that was on the odd occasion
Yes, but
during service.
it was made evident in a Thomas episode that Murdoch, who is a 9F, was pulling the Express.
That would have been based on when I mean, if you look at Evening Star, she reached 90 something miles per hour. She did. But that was an estimate because they didn't have speedos. The driver had to look at the wheel rotations per minute, and he would have to calculate what it would have been.
I mean, now Zach brings up a very interesting point. Was she had no, like, Bertha had no, like, leading or trailing bogies. And it's true. If we look closely, like, the engine just has the driving wheels, but no trailing or leading bogies, which it does create a bit of an unbalance in a way. But
Though there's never been reports of the crews saying that she was a bumpy rider. That's the thing. Zach put, from what I heard. Well, what you might have heard might be incorrect. Because there's no crew statements from Big Bertha. And there's actually a guy on Facebook who was a crew member of Bertha. And I think I messaged him seeing if he had any photos of the Loco. But I can. It's not superior, Zach. That's your opinion.
Wait.
Right, for starters, Bertha was built for one task. It was, which was banking trains up a 1 in 37.7. That's something you don't understand.
Well,
it was built for one purpose. And know something? Whenever she was out of action, they had to get 3 or 4 locomotives in her place. There's actually video footage of 4 panniers shoving up a train up the Lickey.
Oh, yes, also known as Henry's Hill.
In a sense, yes, but that's just ridiculous in its sense.
Oh, someone did a nice deviant art creation of Big Bertha. I mean, it's a shame that the engine was never preserved, but I mean,
Zach, I'll believe that if your grandfather told me himself and it weren't you.
Because no, here's the thing. Like this engine is, well, what can I say? It's a very interesting engine. Hello, Ari. You must understand that I do agree with Zach. 9Fs were superior to Big Bertha, but the problem is, if we look at Victor Tenzing's universe, Murdoch, who was a superior express locomotive, had trouble getting up Gordon's Hill. Needed the assistance of he had to help
2 banking locomotives.
He basically helped Henry and Reginald down the hill.
Also, one thing I need to add. You said, right, let me see, where was it? Trying to find it. Oh, so, by the way, I do know CAD classification scheme, Zach. I'm not fucking stupid.
No. And that's true, because he did say that this is a factual statement saying that now Lickey Incline is still around. It's a very steep gradient. Heck, I mean, I could even imagine an engine crew trying to jog up and down the hill with no trouble.
Oh, so when you put this, Bertha was an 8F. No, you're completely wrong there. Because as I said, I went and gone through the effort, and guess what? She would have been classified as 9F. Oh, so you didn't even specify if you were talking about availability as well. Because, for starters, when you put 8 on power scale, it's like, is that well availability or what? So,
because here's the thing, there was only one of because Big Bertha was an MRO 10O class. Basically, because all it did banking duties. This engine.
Yes, as
So-
I pointed out, she was built for one job. One job. Shunting trains up the Licky.
That's true. But nowadays, like powerful, prominent diesel engines rise the hill with no
some
success.
diesels still get stalled on the grades.
What?
Yeah,
Then who's the banker then?
they get another diesel sometimes just to give them a shove.
No wonder Gordon gets stuck on that hill every other episode.
Mm. I said,
Uh,
as I said that, there is video footage of 4 panniers banking on the Licky.
let's see. Because now this is actual footage in 1958, 2 years after Big Bertha was scrapped.
By the way, Brandon, I have found the video.
Oh, you found the video? Okay, I just found this particular video of engines, ascending and descending the hill.
Right. I'm sharing my screen, by the way, Brandon.
Oh yes. Sorry, I'm just
Right, I'll zoom in.
speeding along
Right.
here.
I'll start the thing.
165 is making good speed with a heavy train and loaded oil tanks, very probably from the Abraham refinery in Bristol.
By the way, this is the title. Licky Incline, 9F210O, banked by 4 pannier tanks.
Wow.
Look. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They look like E2s from a distance.
It's a different sort of pannier.
So it's not duck spaces. It's basically.
It's clearly struggling.
Of course it'll struggle. It's a 1 in 37.7 grade. All locos do.
But in one factor here, the previous train having stood the ball.
Yep. They had 5 actually, if you think about it. 4 banking the 9F and 1 on the 8F strain.
Sensible rationing.
What?
The different format not only noted the train weight, train engine, urgency, and so on.
That's.
Control, at least in
I don't understand.
next and next
Look.
after that.
4 panniers coming down.
These 4 are badly needed.
Yes, they're pretty much like. And one of them's leaking steam from his dome. That's just great.
Safety valve going off.
Yeah.
I think I've made my point clear. Quite clear.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Like,
Because
it's all-
it took 3 pannier. No, it took up to 4. And even 5 at times. They had 5 panniers stationed at the Licky.
because see, the thing is, like, it may not look steep from a distance, but my
But
goodness,
Norway turned, that's a thumping grade.
and now I can totally understand why Gordon's Hill was inspired from that Licky Incline. Like imagine if like Edward's class, like Furness K2 class, would have trouble being a banker itself, like in reality.
What class
I
is he? Did you say K2?
Yeah, a Furness Railway K2. That's Edward.
They had a tractive effort of 13,770 pounds. Per class by the LMS was 1p.
Ah. Oh, so basically a large prairie tank. So that would be like William from Wild Northwestern's universe. True.
By the way, Brandon, many friends I've told about what Zach's put, they ain't exactly impressed with it.
I don't understand.
Remember how he was saying so much about the 9Fs and such? Well, I've had a friend who's driven a 9F, and he said day was the worst loco he's ever had to drive. He did not enjoy it.
Oh boy, he didn't like the experience, I take it.
No, he said he was being shook all over the place.
Oh, so basically, in other words, the 9F was basically like a bucking bronco.
The 9F he was on, yes.
Now, that does serve some story material there, like an inspirational story, like where, let's say, Murdoch has a new temporary crew, and at the time Murdoch is like has to go into the works for maintenance, but he just acts like a bucky bronco, and the temporary crew are displeased.
Hmm.
So that's
Oh, Zach just put, where does he work? Well, Zach, I can't tell you that, as that's private information. I can't tell you that.
yeah.
That's
Now,
basically like me telling you where I live,
well,
which is, well,
more or less exact location, quote unquote.
no, but it's a place he goes to regularly. And he's also asked me to keep the place private. He said I can mention it, not the place, but about what his experience is. But I can't tell you where he works.
Yeah,
As
that's
he'd
the
rather keep that to, well, a select people. Plus, he only really tells his friend. As a friend, I know, but I can't tell you as you're not a friend of his.
well, actually, actually, he and I have had great conversations though, because let's just say he was on a well, that's a story for another day, but in other words, what I was trying to say was like like there's times and places to mention. Let's see, I've been on the 9F at the home to some of the steepest inclines on the Heritage Railway. Uh, home to, and they don't shake on the footplate. They aren't shaky. What? Oh,
Not all locos of the same class are the same. It's like the A4s, they all act differently.
I mean, it's like
I
okay.
mean, for
Point.
example, I could be on one 8F which seems like no tomorrow, but on a same member of the class, it won't steam. It just doesn't want to build steam. They all have their own personalities. That's something you need to understand that. Which, to be honest, I did find you being quite rude to me when I was pointing
Uh,
out
they
when I
don't
was
call them.
pointing out some facts. You were
They don't.
being rude.
Okay, so Zach always says they don't call it the Hampshire Alps for nothing. Okay, now, here's the thing. I mean, I can agree to disagree, but we must also understand something. Like, let's say, I don't know, you buy something at the store. Let's say you let's say you let's say you buy like a grain of bread. The bread tastes so good and delicious but then you buy another loaf and it's not that pleasant. It's just it doesn't have that oomph. So I can see the analogy because think about it. Like now, here's an easy and obvious comparison. Let's look at Dennis and Norman. Dennis, he's says he'll do the work, but he always is lazy. He pretty much manipulates Thomas into doing his work on his day off, but Dennis gets his comeuppance. Norman does the work with no fuss. Yes, he died in the Great Race, but his death was sad, and even the funeral scene. Oh my goodness, I felt so terrible. Like, but you just don't know. But conclusively, I'll say that like many things happen, and what can you do? Like